Alright, what's up everybody? Today, I thought I'd take you guys through how to build something pretty cool. I thought I could do something like some shelves for the wall, something kind of IKEA-ish-esque. But I thought I'd do it out of pallet since I had this extra pallet sitting to the side in the garage. I picked it up on the side of the road for free. I thought it'd be fun to make something out of, so let's do it! So unfortunately, I'm realizing that this pallet's so old and it's been left out that me just trying to pry it open is breaking all the boards. So I gotta use a saw. So after all is said and done, this will not do that. This will hopefully look something, well, hopefully a little better than this, but it's gonna sit up like this on the wall. So it's gonna be a shelf, kind of like that. So yeah, we'll see. So what I did here is I basically shortened up the front. I routed out a channel just for pictures and picture frames and things like that, so it would have something to rest on, so it could stand up straighter than if it were to just lean all the way out to the front. Because if you have a picture frame, let's say this guitar pick guard is a picture frame and it's leaning against the wall, if it's leaning all the way out here, it's going to be awkward, right? So I just cut a channel so that I could lean a little less. Yeah, so yay, good times. So I let these sit overnight after they were glued up. Let's see what happened. Yeah, everything looks good. So now I'm just gonna sand that down so you don't see the glue. Sand on the edges as well. Yeah. First I'm gonna glue the back. So then this will go on the back. So it'll be more like that. And this, I'm gonna hide that knot. I'm gonna try not to show it. Or maybe not. Let's glue these up. Yeah. These are all glued up and good to go. I'm gonna start sanding, and I'm using 120 grit cling spore. I'm going for like a rough rustic look. Round off all the edges here. Started a little bit on that one just to see how it looks. It's looking good so far, so I'm just gonna round everything off. And the reason I'm doing this by hand is I just want more control. I could get the power sander out, which I might do. So these are the shelves that I ended up making yesterday. I stained them and then let the stain soak in for a full 24 hours. Now I'm gonna start polishing them up. I'm using Cling Spore Fusion Foam pads. I'm just gonna start with 800. Just smooth things out, you know, because the grain of the wood starts to raise after you stain it. I've already actually done this one. Nice and shiny. Actually, it's like a dull sheen. Really soft to the touch now. This one I haven't done yet and I'm about to do. I'm okay if it takes off a little bit of the color from the edge. I actually want that because I want to give it that aged look. So now you can see how much difference that's made. It's actually started to shine up a bit. Also too, these sanding pads are great because they allow you to get in between the crevices, the corners, and around everything really nicely. Now that we've done both of them, they've actually turned out looking pretty good with this stain. They have like a nice old boho feel to them, which is what we're going for. The rough marks, the saw on the edge. I added some scuffs and nicks into the wood before I stained, just to give it more of an old beat up appearance. And then once you stain, after you add nicks and bumps, they kind of come out darker, which is cool once we've semi-polished it. With the 800 to 1200 pad, it just has more of a soft feel and look to it. So next, thought we'd try using this Real Milk Paint Low Sheen Finishing Cream. Just gonna take a little bit, just a little, and we're gonna start throwing it on the underside and just seeing what it looks like. Alright, so let's take a look at these. I ended up applying that low sheen, and it actually turned out really nice. It does give it a low sheen. But I'm gonna let it sit and cure for another 24 hours before hanging in, just to ensure that it's soaked in. Gives it a really rustic old feel and look. And these will both mount on the wall.